Hi all, I welcome you all to the next lecture. Today I am going to discuss some additional numerical problems basically on Clausius inequality that I feel that is a very important topic from the second law of thermodynamics. Till now we have solved more than 10 numerical problems based on the heat engine, heat pump, refrigerator, and we have also seen one numerical problem based on the combination of heat engine and heat pump. Today we will see numerical problems based on the Clausius inequality. The statement of Clausius inequality is that if any heat engine is involving more than two thermal energy reservoir, then the algebraic summation of heat transfer. Or you can say the algebraic summation of dou q by t should be less than equal to 0. So this statement is known as Clausius inequality, right? So if this dq by t is less than 0, cycle will be possible, or that process will be possible, but process will be irreversible. If it is equal to 0, then the cycle will be reversible and a process is possible. If it is going to be greater than 0, such kind of process is impossible, and such kind of device is impossible as per the second law. So Clausius inequality basically gives us an information that whether given process is possible or not. So let's see some practical applications of it. So I will dictate the problem, you can note it down. The first problem says that a heat engine receives 2512 kilojoule per minute of heat from a high temperature reservoir at 650 degrees Celsius, and heat is rejected to a low temperature reservoir at 100 degrees Celsius. Full stop. Determine by means of Clausius inequality whether the cycle is impossible, reversible or irreversible for the following cases. The first case, 867 kilojoule per minute of heat is rejected. Second case, 1015 kilojoule per minute of heat is rejected. Third case, 1494 kilojoule per minute of heat is rejected. So these are the three cases which are given, and you need to find out whether the given cycle is possible, irreversible or reversible. That we need to do. So how to solve that? So solution, first step, write down what is given. So given data is heat input, which is given Q1 is equal to 2512 kilojoule per minute. This is already given. Alright. Initial temperature of the cycle is given 923 Kelvin, which is also given. Alright. And final temperature of the cycle is given 373 Kelvin, that is 100 degrees Celsius. First case, your heat rejected in first case is given as 867 kilojoule per minute. Second case, heat rejected is given as 1015 kilojoule per minute. Right. Third case, heat rejected is given as 1494 kilojoule per minute. These are all things are given to you, right? Now using these things, right, I need to find out whether given process is possible or not. So take the first case by Clausius inequality. We can say algebraic summation of dou q by t, right, should be less than equal to 0. This is for cycle. So let we focus on left hand side. So left hand side we take, so heat addition is positive, that we know, and heat rejection is negative, that is well understood, right? So heat addition is here 2512, so I can say q1 by t1 plus minus q2 by t2. So I need to put the value here. So q1 is 2512 divided by t1 is 923 minus Q2 is 867 divided by T2 is 373. So if you solve this, use the calculator, and if you solve this, alright, in the first case you will get plus 0.397 kilojoule per minute. So what is this happening? Algebraic summation, that means what? Algebraic summation of dou q by t is greater than 0, which is impossible, right? Which is impossible. So this cycle is impossible. So first case is not possible. Take the second case. Take second case. If you are going for second case, right, in a similar way, right, you can write again q1 by t1 plus minus q2 by t2. So I am substituting directly value. So this is 2512 divided by 923 minus second case is 1015 divided by 373. So this we need to solve. So if we substitute the value over here, right, we can get the value which is coming 0.00363. So this can be approximately, you can say it is equal to 0. So in this case, cyclic integration, not cyclic algebraic summation, is becoming equal to 0. What does this mean? Cycle is reversible and possible. So it is a possible reversible cycle, right? We can say it is a reversible possible cycle. So we can easily say. So it is here. Second case, cycle is reversible and possible. Take third case. So third case, heat transfer is 1494 kilojoule per minute. So use that. So 2512 divided by 923 minus 1494 divided by 373. If you solve this, you are getting negative value of 1.284 kilojoule per minute. What does it mean? This means algebraic summation of dou q by t is less than 0. So this is the case of a possible irreversible cycle. So third case is possible irreversible cycle. So like that we can find out for a given data, right, whether cycle is possible or not, whether it's irreversible, what is possible. So in first case we find out this is impossible. Second case we have find out cycle is irreversible but possible. Third case it is irreversible possible. So like that you can solve. So this was the first numerical problem, right? So I don't think so there will be any problem in solving this. So now we go for the second numerical problem. So second numerical problem I will take slightly, it is lengthy. So a reversible heat engine shown in figure. So I am drawing a diagram here. So it is having three reservoirs like this, and there is a big heat engine which is here. So all these reservoirs are connected like this and like this. Alright, and finally some work is getting produced, that is 1000 kilojoule. This is the work which is coming out. So one reservoir 1 at 600 Kelvin, reservoir 2 at 400 Kelvin, and reservoir 3 at 300 Kelvin. These are the things which are given: 400, 300, 600. So shown in figure operates between three constant temperature reservoir at 600 Kelvin, 400 Kelvin and 300 Kelvin, full stop. It receives 2500 kilojoule of energy as heat from reservoirs at 600 Kelvin. So it is receiving heat from this around 2500 kilojoule of energy from reservoir at 600 and does 1000 kilojoule of work. Determine the heat interactions with other two reservoirs. So only this thing is given, right? Heat is from one reservoir is given and is asking the heat from remaining two reservoirs, right? That's the thing. So this is the given data and we need to start solving to find out this. So let's suppose the heat transfer from reservoir 2 is Q2 and from here it is Q3, that is B assumed. B still we don't know whether the heat rejected is there. Finally we'll come to know there is a one definitely out of Q2 and Q3, one will be negative, that is heat rejected. Then only the cycle will be possible. So let's start this problem. So these all things are given. So already we have drawn. Now we can start with so we can apply first is energy balance, right? So solution first is energy balance. So if we are applying energy balance, we can write summation of heat is equal to work. That's what, because this is our system, right? About this we are applying. So we can say 2500 plus Q2 plus Q3 is equal to net work which is given 1000 kilojoule. If I solve this, I can get Q3 is equal to minus 1500 minus Q2 is equal to equation number 1 which I got. That's the one thing I solved from this equation. Clear? Now pi Clausius inequality. Now you apply this. So I can say Q1 by T1, Q2 by T2 plus Q3 by T3 which is equal to 0. So Q1 is given 2500 divided by T1 which is given 600. Q2 and Q3 I do not know, so I will just put Q2 divided by 400 plus Q3 divided by 300 which is equal to 0, and we are assuming that cycle is reversible and it is already given in that. So now we will substitute the value of Q2 and Q3. Q3 we already expressed in terms of Q2, so we will substitute here. So the moment I am substituting here, this will become 2500 divided by 600 plus Q2 divided by 400 plus Q3. So plus means minus I will take. So 1500 plus Q2 divided by 300 is equal to 0. So if I solve this, I can get the second equation, right? Second equation. So if I solve this, I can relate with the this equation, right? This and this equation, right? We can substitute. So if I rearrange the terms, I can get Q2 because only Q2 is unknown in this equation. So from here I can directly get Q2 which is coming around minus 1000 kilojoule. So 1 is known to me, right? If I substitute this value minus 1000 kilojoule in equation number 1, I can get Q3. So Q3 is also coming minus 500 kilojoule if I substitute the value. So I got one value here, second value here. So that means what? In this heat engine, heat is getting received from one reservoir and is getting rejected to the two reservoirs, right? So this minus represent heat is getting rejected. Clear? So these are the two things that we need to calculate. Now if you want to prove that whether it's possible or not, just substitute this value Q2 Q3 and 2500. If you add this everything, this is 1500, this is 2500, you will get 1000 only. So that means satisfying this equation. So such cycle is possible. So it is getting heat from one reservoir and sending to the two reservoirs. So like that you can solve. So this is the second numerical problem in this series, right? I don't think so there will be any problem in this. So let's go to the next numerical problem. This is the third numerical problem. So I will take slightly tough problem here. Okay, so I will take this problem. An inventor claims to have designed a heat engine which absorbs 260 kilojoule of energy as heat from a reservoir at 52 degrees Celsius and delivers 72 kilojoule of work, full stop. He also states that the engine rejects 100 kilojoule and 88 kilojoule to the reservoirs at 27 degrees Celsius and 2 degrees Celsius respectively. Full stop. State with justification whether his claim is acceptable. Right, this is the numerical problem. So as per his claim, right, it is absorbing heat of 260 kilojoule, right, 260 kilojoule of heat, right, from a reservoir at 52. So convert that 52 into Kelvin, that is coming around 325 Kelvin. This is our reservoir 1. That's the first case which is saying it is getting this much heat, and finally it is delivering 72 kilojoule of work. So this is my heat engine, right, and out of heat engine I am getting work of 72 kilojoule which is given, right, and is saying that he also states that he reject heat to two reservoirs. So two reservoirs heat is going from here and from here, one reservoir here, another reservoir here. So one reservoir it reject 100 kilojoule, so 100 kilojoule you can put this side, and 88 kilojoule it's rejecting this side, right. 227 degree and 2 degree, convert that in Kelvin, 300 Kelvin and 275 Kelvin. So this is the case, right, and now we need to find out whether the given claim is correct or not. So we need to prove this. So how to do that? First of all, put the energy balance, right. So energy balance, so if we put the energy balance, we can write Q1. This is Q1 basically. Q1 is coming and all the things are going out. Q1 is equal to this one plus this, everything you can add, right? That is going to be the case. So Q1, if I say this as Q2, if I say this as Q3, I can say Q2 plus Q3 plus W. This is the one equation, right. So substitute all the values. So 260 this side is equal to 72 plus 88 plus 100. If you add this, how much you are getting? You are getting 260. So 260 is equal to 260. So one energy balance is perfect. So thus design heat engine satisfies the first law of thermodynamics. So by applying this, we get it is satisfying first law of thermodynamic, right. That is one thing. Now we have to also go to the Clausius inequality, that is second law also need to be satisfied. So by Clausius inequality, right, now we need to apply algebraic summation dou q by t, right, should be either less than equal to 0. So let's focus on left hand side. So look at here, q1 is positive, so q1 by t1, and these all are negative, so minus q2 by t2 minus q3 by t3. So I got this equation, q2 q3 t3. So just substitute the value of q1, that is 260 divided by 325 minus 100 divided by 300 minus 88 divided by 275. So if I solve this, right, what I am getting? So this I am getting around plus 0.1466 kilojoule per Kelvin. So what does it mean? This means cyclic integration of dq by t is greater than 0. That means violating the second law, it's violating the Clausius inequality. So if that is the case, then the claim is not acceptable. The claim of the inventor is not acceptable, like that you can. So any device which is possible must satisfy the first law as well as the second law of thermodynamics. If that is going to happen, then only you can say such device is possible, otherwise it is impossible. So this kind of problem may also come. So this is the third numerical problem. If I take the next problem, so next problem is Carnot engine operates between reservoirs at temperature T1 and T2, and a second engine operates between reservoirs maintained at T2 and T3. Full stop. Determine the efficiency of a third engine which operates between T1 and T3 in terms of efficiencies of other two engines. So I will draw the block diagram. So it is something like this. So between these, this is T1, this is T3. One engine is operating directly between these two and producing some work, that's W3, getting Q1, Q4 and Q5. This is a heat engine 3, right? One heat engine is operating here, another is operating here, and finally going like this. So this is heat engine 2, this is heat engine 1, right? Heat engine 1, heat engine 2. So this is producing some work, this is also producing some work. So I can say W1, W2, it is getting heat from here Q1, rejecting here Q2. This intermediate temperature is T2, right? And the same Q2 is going here, right? And Q3 is coming out here and going to T3. So intermediate temperature is only T2, right? And these all combinations. So two heat engines, these are all reversible heat engines, right? Give the direction as well, all right? These two are initially operating. Then we have to express the efficiency, effectiveness of third engine in terms of efficiency of these two engines. So how to solve that? So we will apply the second law. So for the heat engine 1, right, heat engine 1, we can say efficiency 1 is equal to 1 minus T2 divided by T1, we can say, because T1 and T2 in between that it is operating 1 minus T2 by T1. So from here I can write T2 divided by T1 is equal to 1 minus efficiency 1. This is equation number 1. Just leave this here. Now for the heat engine 2, 2 is operating between T2 and T3. Look at here. So efficiency 2 is equal to 1 minus T3 divided by T2. So from here get T3 divided by T2 out. This is nothing but 1 minus efficiency 2. This is equation number 2. Clear? Now we can go for the third engine which is operating between T1 and T3. So for the third engine, you can write efficiency 3 is equal to 1 minus T3 divided by T1. So from here I can get this T3 divided by T1 is equal to 1 minus efficiency 3. Can I say? Yes or no? So make some arrangement of this T3 by T1 as we can write T3 divided by T2 into T2 divided by T1. This arrangement can be made. T3 by T2 into T2 by T1. T3 by T2 you know, and T2 by T1 you know. So just substitute the values of 1 minus efficiency 3 can be written as 1 minus efficiency 1 and 1 minus efficiency 2. Can I write like this? Just cross multiply this, means multiply this. So if you multiply this, I will get 1 minus efficiency 1. That's a one term. If I multiply by 1, now you multiply by the efficiency 2, you can get efficiency 2 minus plus efficiency 1 and efficiency 2. I can write like this. So one time 1 I multiply, then I multiply minus efficiency 2. So this is also minus efficiency 2, right? And this become plus. So this I got expression. So from here take this efficiency 3 this side and remaining terms this side. So I can say efficiency 3 is equal to, what I am doing, I am taking this efficiency 3 that side and all other rest of the terms this side. So I can write 1 minus efficiency 1 minus efficiency 2 plus efficiency 1 into efficiency 2. Can I write like this? Yes. So open this bracket. So I can write efficiency 3 is equal to efficiency 1 plus efficiency 2 minus efficiency 1 into efficiency 2. So this is the required relation, right, in which we can express efficiency of third engine with efficiency 1 and 2 by this relation. Clear? Understand that for heat engine 1 we have solved here, heat engine 2, then if we go for heat engine 3, where we find out T3 by T1, then we express T3 by T1 in terms of remaining 2, and we substitute those values, then finally we relate efficiency 3 in terms of efficiency 1 and 2. So this kind of problem is also there, right? This is the fourth problem in this series. Now we go for the fifth problem, right? So I will take fifth problem. This will be the last problem for the today discussion. So I will take slightly, lengthy problem, right, which may also be asked. So take the case of the last numerical problem. A reversible engine operates between a source at 972 degrees Celsius and two sinks, one at 127 degrees Celsius and another at 27 degrees Celsius. Full stop. The energy rejected is same at the both sinks, means the energy which is going to sinks will be the same. Compute the engine efficiency, that is being asked, right? So what is given, basically given is initial temperature is given, that is 972 plus 273 is equal to 1200 Kelvin, right? This is the source temperature. Now two sinks are there. One sinks as 127 plus 273, which is coming as 400 Kelvin, right? Next sink is at 27 degree plus 273, which is coming at 300 Kelvin. These are all things are given, right? This is source and rest two are the sink. Heat rejected to the sink, that is I can say Q2 is equal to Q3, which is also given, right? Now we need to find out the engine efficiency which is operating between T1, T2 and T3. So let's apply the Clausius inequality. If we are applying the Clausius inequality, I can write summation of Qi by Ti should be equal to 0 for a reversible engine or reversible process. That's the case. So just focus on left side. So I can say Q1 by T1 plus minus Q2 by T2 plus minus Q3 by T3 is equal to 0. I can write, but Q2 is equal to Q3 is given, so these two terms are Q2 basically. So I can write Q1 divided by T1, and this Q2 I can take Q2 is common, so 1 by T2 plus 1 by T3 into Q2 is equal to 0. Can I write like this? So I can relate now Q2 with Q1, so I can say Q2 1 upon T2 plus 1 upon T3 is equal to Q1 by T1, right? So whatever things are given, just substitute the value of that, right? So T1, T2, T3, everything is given, just substitute the value and get one relationship between Q2 and Q1. So I can write Q2 divided by Q1 is equal to 0.1376. This I got from Clausius inequality by substituting the value of T1, T2 and T3 that already I know, right? T3 is already given, T1, T2, these are given, so I can put. Now efficiency of engine. So efficiency of engine is nothing but 1 minus heat rejected divided by heat supplied. Heat rejected, heat supplied, or another way, right, we can say it is 1 minus how much rejected, Q2 plus Q2, this is getting rejected, divided by Q1. If I solve this, I can get 1 minus 2 times of Q2 by Q1. Q2 by Q1 I know, so just substitute the value 1 minus 2, 0.1376, right? So if I solve this, I can get efficiency of engine is equal to 0.7248 or 72.48 percentage. Clear? So like that you can solve the problems, right? So this is the last numerical problem for today. I think so this much is enough from Clausius inequality. If still if you are having some doubt, feel free to contact me at any time. Try some more numerical problem from the PK Nag book. A lot of unsolved numerical problems are there. Most of them we have solved. Some numerical problems I left with, you try by yourself, right? If you come across any doubt, feel free to contact me, right? So in next class I am going to start the next chapter, that is called entropy. So entropy is the outcome of second law of thermodynamics, that we will discuss in the next class. So thank you for listening the today's lecture. Have a nice day. Good day.